I've had it with Kim Kardashian and the Kardashians now. Like, I've spoken on this channel about how I feel these guys are very evil, and I've talked about Chris and how I feel like she's one of the witches of Hollywood, which if you don't know what that's about, get to know my channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you're feeling the vibe as well. Love to have you guys here. But this has gone too far, the Kanye thing. And now that we're in this situation with Kanye, it's making me realize that so many times when people were calling Kanye crazy and stuff, I don't know that he was that crazy, you know, anymore. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, he was a bit crazy, whatever. I've done a video talking about why I feel like Kanye is a modern day like Paul of the Bible, so you guys can check that out. And I talk about how, you know, when somebody switches their life around, you know, there's that messy part where you're kind of breaking out of the old way you did things and breaking into the new. And that can be very ugly and messy. And of course, in this day and age where everybody's just looking to criticize you at any opportunity and cancel you for any small thing that you do and forget the fact that you're a human being and that the Bible says we've all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, then it's not going to be very nice for you in society, because you're probably going to get cancelled and be misunderstood. But I do feel he's moved forward, as I've said as well, and now he's starting to stabilize a bit more with his new found faith and everything, especially from, you know, like his Thanksgiving prayer he did, which I really appreciated a lot, his accountability and stuff like that. And so I feel like he's on the straight and narrow, and I feel like he's been pretty steady. Of course, he's still Kanye, and I think you can't expect anybody to be perfect, like I said. But the problem for me with this whole situation is the way that Kim has taken the opportunity of the fact that there's already this thing in people's minds that Kanye is a bit crazy, he's a bit out there, he's a bit whatever. And I don't like that, because I think that's extremely unfair towards Kanye, because he has a right to his children. Like, in a society, in a world where so many people are complaining about absentee fathers, where are the fathers, men need to step up, men need to this, that, and the other. Look how we're treating a father that wants to step up. Whatever you guys think, and this is where the worldly system and the godly system clashes. This is where the kingdom of God and the kingdom of Satan clashes. Because in the kingdom of Satan and the kingdom of this world, right, which is this world, everybody feels like they get to decide what's supposed to happen with everybody, whether it's children or whatever. In the kingdom of God, right, God trusts the child to the parents of the child. It's not for you, it's not for me, it's not for anyone to decide what's better for the child. Unfortunately, and I've had to think about this quite a lot, because, you know, obviously there's situations where children have been, you know, abused and stuff like that. And so that's why people have created, you know, systems in the government and in the world and whatever to protect children, right? And I'm not speaking against those things per se. But what I'm saying is that the responsibility ultimately is with the parent. And ultimately, since so many of these systems and things are broken, sometimes I think it's better we leave things with the way that God intended for them to be. I.e., Kanye is their father. He should be left as to be able to look after his children as their father. There should not be people crossing over the boundaries of his fatherhood, not respecting, like, you know, basically trying to say, oh, well, we don't think he should be able to do this, or he's obsessed with Kim, or all this stuff. Maybe he's obsessed with being a father. Wouldn't that be nice? I thought, particularly for the Black community, I thought this is something we would be loving. I thought this is exactly the answers we've been waiting for. But no, we're going to say he's been obsessed. And the thing that's crazy to me about all of this specifically is the fact that he was right. Like, the comments, I don't know, for those of you who are calling him crazy or obsessed, I don't know if you guys have seen the comment section on North's TikTok, because this is how it kind of went even further downhill, because then Kim let North, their daughter, who I believe is 8 years old, go on TikTok and started TikTok, and she was all like, well, I'm monitoring it, and as her mom, blah, 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 blah. I don't care, right? Because in the comment section, you had people like, North, do you know where mommy's checkbook is? And this is me adding voices, but this is what it sounds like to me when I'm looking at it. And they're like, North, have you seen where mommy's checkbook is? North, I'm poor. Can you send me some money? North, we're poor. Like, this is people in the comment section. This is the world we live in. This is the world we live in, where the world isn't safe, which is why God gives you two parents, not just one parent, two parents who have distinctive roles, as even as their parents, distinctively different, because that's the level of management you need and protection you need, you know, to survive. And then when you're old enough, when you've been given enough of the skills and you have enough of the wisdom, the understanding, etc., you go out into that world, and they're still your parents even then, right? So for me, the fact that he was right, and this is what, and I feel like, again, this is my problem with the Kardashians. is that this is their life. It's all business. And they're the ones who do so much and get away with so much scot-free because of how obsessed people are, because they are the gods. One of the gods of this world. The Kardashians are gods in this society. They are, because people want to be like them. People want to listen to them. The same way that I would go to listen to God to direct my life is how people go to the Kardashians, right? But here's the thing, and I talk about why idolizing people is a bad thing. I've done multiple videos about that, so check those videos out, right? The problem with that is that they are human beings. No human being was perfect or is perfect except Jesus, and Jesus is at the right hand of the Father, the Lord, right now, and he hasn't come back yet. So currently, there is no human being, right, who is worthy of worship other than Jesus, and he's the only human being worthy of worship, and that's because he's all good. Because the rest of us human beings are not all good, not me, not anyone, and that's why please never worship me. Even for the people on my channel, I tell you guys all the time, I'm here. I'm the face of my thoughts and feelings, my opinions, but also a lot of you guys. That's why I started this channel, so that the people who maybe don't want to have their face out there, like me, which I didn't want to be honest with you, but I realized certain things I wanted to do, there was no way I was going to be able to achieve them without putting my face out there. But anywho, you know, but for those who don't want to, you know, I can put certain perspectives and viewpoints out there on behalf of all of us, you know, and that's what I tried to do on here. So, but I also say, and I've said frequently, and I've made even videos just talking about this specifically, how I'm not perfect. Do not worship me. Do not look to me to be this beacon of perfection that you should idolize. Absolutely do not. Look to the God that I worship. Yes, you know. And so with this whole Kanye thing, I just feel like at this stage, it's the classic, we want to maintain power. They're probably loving the scandal because Kris is, for those of you who don't know, right, Kris, she is a mastermind when it comes to business. She is a mastermind. I'm not going to lie. I don't think there's many people out there who know how to do business like Kris Jenner, and I've done videos about this, so you guys can check them out. And there's a really good documentary on YouTube that somebody did about the Kardashians, which you guys have to watch. And I can't remember what it's even called. So good, right? And basically, one of the things that was pointed out in this documentary that I watched is the fact that Kris, at all stages of her life, has taken advantage of the business-related option that she has for everything that happens. When she was with Bruce, when he was still Bruce, she was doing workout tapes, even though she connected to anything to do with health and fitness, no. But of course, he had done the Olympics and stuff. You know, she has a church, which Sloan recently did a video about. I haven't watched the video, but I know about the church thing, because I saw about this in the documentary. But like, I'm just not even like, I don't know if I'm going to comment on it. You guys let me know if you want me to comment on it. I don't know if I feel, because like I say, sometimes if something's being spoken about, I don't always feel like I need to talk about it if somebody else has spoken about it and they, you know, whatever. But you guys let me know if you want to hear my thoughts. If I'm only going to comment on this if at least one of you guys says you want to hear about it, or unless the situation escalates even further. But anyway, so yeah, she did the church thing. I personally have said in previous videos that I feel like she capitalized enough off of the black community, getting her children all to try and be with as many black guys as possible, which is now why we've moved on to the Pete Davidsons and whoever the other one is that Courtney's with now, although Courtney was never really with the black guys anyway, so But then again, maybe that was also good for the scene because she had Scott Disick. He was a great character. He was popular. I feel like they thrive off of the scandal, right? They thrive off of the scandal, and they've built their life off of that, especially in comparison to somebody like Kanye. Because if you look at the difference between Kim and Kanye and how they have done well, Kanye, even if he was not to drop an album ever again, has his whole clothing collection in Yeezy and everything, which is doing so well. Very good quality stuff from what I've seen. I actually tried the Yeezy slides this past Christmas, and I was like, wow, like these are warm and extremely comfortable. And I get why people talk about this. And Kanye obviously is actually making the effort to put in the technology, even though a lot of his stuff looks a bit strange, in my opinion. Even these boots he wears everywhere. But hey, look, he's doing his thing. I respect somebody who just does their thing, who's themselves. Go ahead, if that's who the Lord called you to be, do your thing, man. You flutter like a butterfly, right? He's done his music. So much of his music has been iconic, if you ask me. And still is till now. You know, I did a video talking about this whole, I don't know if I don't think I did a video talking about the whole Drake thing, if I did or didn't. But anyway, the Drake thing, him and Drake performing together, you know, and people were like, Drake didn't even manage to match up to Kanye. And obviously Drake is another one of those who people like really see highly and stuff. So I'm saying all that to say that he's massively talented, Kanye West. He's massively talented. And he's had a very robust, consistent career, long career of good quality, high quality work. that you can actually identify, versus the Kardashians, who I was always, and this is why I feel like I can say this stuff, because I always try, my default position at the beginning is always to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, I used to watch the Keeping Up with the Kardashians back in the day, right? And I always just want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, you know what? Do I agree with everything they talk about? No. Do I agree with everything that they think? No. But they seem to be trying, you know, they seem to be, you know, they seem to be, you know, somewhat, not, I don't know if I would say genuine, but they, you know, they seem to be trying to make something out of something. You know, it really was the whole OJ Simpson thing, in my opinion, was what really set off their name. And then obviously then the show and stuff, but obviously a lot of people say it's all because of the sex tape. So it's like, whichever way you want to look at it, I don't know. I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt. I tried to give Kim the benefit of the doubt in the past and say I don't think that it seems like her bum is real, even though so many people said it's fake. Now I come to the understanding, based on Laurie Hill, fantastic, by the way, channel to watch. She breaks down a lot of the plastic surgery that goes on. She's very good. I would say she's an expert. I know she calls herself that, but I very much see her as an expert, because you should watch her channel, and she's spoken about the Kardashians and how she thinks they get away with like doing all the work that they probably get done. So now I've had to realize that probably there is so much more work done than we think, which again, I don't like, because they've like made out like if you follow their workout plans or if you buy their things, and then you're going to look like them. Or like how Kylie did the whole thing of getting her lips filled and didn't say that she'd done that. She made it seem like it was her lip kit. After sales of the Kylie Jenner lip kit were doing really well. Then after the fact, she admitted that actually she did have her lips done. So you guys can see why I don't really trust them, and how I feel like a lot of their business is very sketchy. So for now, for Kanye to be with Kim, and again, I feel like it was really probably Chris driving home, like, have all those kids with Kanye, have another one, have another one. I reckon Kanye was genuinely interested in Kim. I mean, he wanted to get back with her. Seems like he's allowing her to move on now as well, which nobody's talking about. They're just talking like he's still obsessed, but he seems to now be allowing her to move on. So anyway, and so I do feel like this is very evil. This is what I'm saying all of this to say. It's very evil. And if we're going to be talking about wanting to have fathers involved, particularly those of you in the communities where you complain about fathers not being involved, then we need to stop this. If we want to be having men feel comfortable to talk about their emotions, or be honest, or be more more emotionally vulnerable, then we can't be doing this stuff. Because I'll tell you what, if I was a man watching all of this, I would understand. I would be walking right back into the emotional closet right now. I'll be walking, I'm just looking over there because that's where my closet is. But I'll be walking right back into the emotional closet. And I feel like a lot of them are feeling like that right now. A lot of guys are feeling beaten up. And I feel like this is why a lot of men, they opt to say, you know what, rather than fighting for my kids, I'm going to let them believe that I'm a deadbeat. And I feel like a lot of men do feel that way. And I can understand why they would. Especially seeing this, I was shocked. I was shocked to see how quick people were to just be like, oh, well, Kanye, like to just push Kanye over to the side, as if like he's not here actually trying to fight for his family. Like the one thing that we've been saying, we've been wanting, like literally what we should be supporting. Why are we now saying that this is an issue? I don't understand. You know? So yeah, I just feel like we as people, first of all, Kim is wrong for this. She is bold-faced wrong for this, number one. Number two, we need, especially as women out there, if you're a woman and you're going along with all this Kanye stuff, shame on you. And I will say that. Shame on you if you're one of those who's going out there saying that Kanye is obsessing over Kim or whatever, or getting the house across the road. That is like one of the most logical things. Because one of the things I think about when parents separate, which is why I feel like having children outside of marriage is selfish. I talk about this on my other channel, Queen Living. Check it out for the ladies. One of the main things I talk about is we talk so much about the adults, right, in a situation. We don't think about the children involved. We're not thinking about the children involved and what happens to the children involved. We're just thinking about the adults. And the children are always the ones who lose out. So to me, the fact that Kanye actually put the kids first and said, I'm going to buy the house across the road. So even if we're not together, they have the same address. If they need to be picked up from school and brought back, I can bring them back. If something happens last minute, I can be across the road. I think that's great. I think that's great. If Kim is concerned because she feels like he's going to cross the boundaries, all she had to say, in my opinion, was, you know what, Kanye, fair enough. I understand that. Let's draw up an agreement where we're going to agree some rules, because certain things I feel like I would be uncomfortable with. But again, us as women got to stop getting upset at men who are not getting involved with their families, and we're consistently acting, saying that we want them to be supportive, and then taking on more responsibility of the children and not giving the men more responsibility. He has a 50-50 stake in those children. a 50% stake in those children. Literally, spiritually, physically, whichever level you want to look at it, right? He has a stake in those children. He deserves to look after his own kids. He does. So I don't like this whole thing that we are trying to say that that I don't like this whole thing that a lot of women do, where they take the kids and they're like, oh, I want to protect my kids. Well, that's their father, and they need a father. And I'm not gonna lie to you, not to be rude to the ladies out there, but I think there's a lot more need for fatherhood than there is motherhood in this day and age, because a lot of people have had mothers and not a lot of people have had fathers. Not as much people have had fathers, or even healthy fathers, especially when we talk about people who've grown up maybe with a father but he was emotionally absent, or he was never there. He was either emotionally absent or absent in other ways, or whatever. So that's not really having a father either. So I think if we're having a father who wants to go out of his way to be for his children, let's do that. I mean, I had a friend growing up, and she and her parents separated, and one thing that I loved about them, and this is the only couple I heard who did something like this, her and her mum and dad literally agreed that the kids would spend 50-50 at the parents' houses, like literally 3.5 days at each parent's house. Like they literally swapped on one of the days. I think in the middle of the week, the dad or the mum would meet up. Like the dad would drop them off, I think, in the morning at school, and then the mum would pick them up after school, kind of thing. They used to alternate Christmases. So like on Christmas one year, they'd be at their mums. On Christmas the other year, they'd be at their dads. But then they'd always be at the other parents on Boxing Day. That to me was fair, and I really liked that. I was like, good for you guys. Like, it's not ideal that they've obviously divorced, but at least they're making sure that the children are getting 50-50. Because a lot of the time, and this is why a lot of women, I don't really think you have the right to complain about guys, because if you're shutting them out, you're not allowing them to have the opportunity to be a father, then what do you expect? You need to allow them to have their place. I knew a girl who like literally had an abortion without talking to the father of the child, and who's told the father of the child's mum, and he didn't know. I don't know if he knows now. Like, do you see what I mean? Like, these crazy things. Like, we got to choose, ladies. We got to choose a narrative. Are we sad about having all these single mothers, or are we perpetuating that with our actions by calling men who are trying to get involved obsessed? What do we really want here? I got to ask that question, really and truly. Are we going to just go along with Kim Kardashian because we're so obsessed with her and we're just worshipping her as if she actually really did something? You know, okay, she got the bar, she got some people out of prison after the fact. Right now, she's got her own ex-husband trying to be a father to the children. And guess what? Who's going to be the most affected? Maybe the children. I don't know what they think now, right? Because children, when they're children, this is why I believe God gives us parents. And the parents are supposed to know better. But imagine again, looking back at this later on, if they don't get an opportunity. Because this is what I think happens with a lot of kids. And I've heard these stories of like children who, when they grow up, they resent their mothers because they didn't get the opportunity to spend time with their father as much as they would have liked, and the father actually wanted to be involved, but then because the parents were so busy being selfish about their relationship, the child missed out on some very necessary fathering influence that they needed, you know, or they wanted, or maybe they felt abandoned, or maybe they felt however they discover in adulthood when they've already got all these issues, all these other things that they should have been taught by the male figure they were supposed to have to look up to, that was supposed to love them, right? And it's too late, and we don't think about that. We don't think about how it's going to affect the children long term. And I think that's unfair as well, because right now, what's always best for the children is for them to have their parents in their life, both of their parents in their life. The only reason why I can understand maybe a woman taking the children away is if that husband is beating up those children or doing whatever. And unfortunately, a lot of women are just allowing those things to happen anyway. So it's like, what are we going to do, ladies? When are we going to support the guys who are doing what they need to do, who want to be there? When are we going to be respectful and understanding? If Kim is that concerned, if she thinks he's obsessed, making him do drug tests or whatever, find yourselves lawyers. Act like adult people. Act like adults. Get a lawyer. You get a lawyer. You guys have a meeting. Say, we're going to structure this. I say it'd be Kim Kardashian. She should be saying to Kanye, you have a right to these children. We're going to work out a way that this is going to work, and we're going to discuss it until we are both satisfied and the children are being prioritized. And this is why I think that we should not be having children outside of marriage, outside of somebody who outside of a relationship where the Lord is at the center and you guys are knowing that you're supposed to be together. Because when you have that, then there's none of this has to be the case. The reason we have so many of these issues today is because people are getting together, breaking up, as if there's children that are not involved. Children who have a right to a part of both of those two parents, right? Having to deal with all this stuff, it's not fair. Especially in a day and age where contraception is so prominent. But to Kim and Kanye, I believe Kanye had the intention of being with Kim. I believe he was hoping that they were going to be more on the same team about probably how he's changed. That's probably impossible for the fact that I believe that the Kardashians are evil. Either way, we need to stop this whole thing that we do of just like, you know, not allowing the men to do what we're claiming we want them to do, but then we're shutting them out. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. That's what I don't understand. And then now, if the problem increases and a lot of men are not interested with, I don't feel like us women have a leg to stand on now for a lot of things. Because now if they say, oh, well, we don't want to do this because we've seen what happened with Kanye, I'm not into it. Now I just want to do this. Now I just want to do me. Now I just want to play women. Now I want to be like fresh and fit and conquer or be conquered. Then it doesn't help. That's all I have to say anyway. Don't want to make this a long video. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and watch my other videos to hear more stuff. I've got videos about Kanye. I've got videos about the Kardashians. I've got videos about nothing to do with those people because they're not the only people that exist in the world. They're not the only thing that's happening. Don't forget to hit the like button as well. Other than that, God bless you all, and I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.